Have you ever caught yourself thinking that you're not where you're supposed to be in life? Like, even when you reach your goals, something still feels missing? What if you could snap your fingers and become exactly who you've always dreamed of being, with everything you've always wanted? Sounds like the path to happiness, right? But do you know what the reality is? You'd still feel incomplete. It's like life constantly swings between wanting something with all your heart and then getting bored once you finally get it. It's the famous Schopenhauer's pendulum. It's one of the strangest things about being human. How many times have you thought, I'll be happy once I get that thing? Then, when you finally get there, the motivation fades, and a new emptiness shows up in its place. This emptiness is more common than you think. The big question is, why? Why even when we get what we want, do we still feel like something's missing? Today, I want to take you on a journey to understand this feeling, and more importantly, to discover how to handle it in a way that makes you feel more alive, more at peace with life. I'm not going to promise you a magical fix because life doesn't work that way, but I will show you some simple, practical ideas to live lighter and with more meaning. Because the secret to living well isn't about mastering the pendulum, it's about finding beauty in its eternal motion. I want to ask you something. When was the last time you felt that emptiness? Maybe after achieving something big, or maybe it's something you feel right now without even being able to explain it. Keep that thought in mind because we're about to figure out what's behind it. We'll talk about why our brains keep us in this cycle, how today's world makes it even harder, and most importantly, how we can change the way we see life to find more joy. Why does happiness seem to disappear right after we achieve something? Think about the last time you wanted a new car, a promotion, or maybe a new phone. When you got it, you felt that joy, right? A moment of, wow, I did it. But how long did that last? A few days? Hours? Suddenly, you were already thinking about the next thing you wanted. We live between two extremes. On one side, the desire to have something, on the other, the boredom that comes once we get it. It's almost like happiness is just a quick pause between these two moments. How many times have you thought, my life will be amazing once I get this, only to realize that when you got there, it wasn't as perfect as you imagined? Researchers followed 3 groups in a study: people who won the lottery, people who went through serious accidents, and a regular group with no major changes. A year later, all of them were pretty much at the same level of happiness. The lottery winners, who were super excited at first, were back to normal, just like those who had faced difficulties. This shows that our brains always return to a set point of how we feel. We get used to everything, whether it's good or bad. Why does this happen? It's all related to dopamine. When you want something, dopamine gives you a push, like saying, go for it, it'll be great. But when you get it, it fades, and sometimes you feel empty. That's why after buying something we wanted, we start looking at the next thing. Our brains are built to keep us moving, always searching for more. This was great back in the day when we needed to hunt or explore to survive. But today, it can leave us stuck in an endless pursuit. So, what does this mean? Does it mean we'll spend our whole lives unsatisfied? Not really. Understanding this pendulum of life is the first step in not letting it consume you. You can't stop wanting things. Desire is part of who we are. But what if we're looking in the wrong place? The problem is that today's world pulls us into an even deeper hole. We live in a time when everything around us pushes us to think we need more and more stuff to feel good. You open your phone and right away you see people showing off amazing vacations, perfect homes, lives that look like movies. Even though we know a lot of it is edited, it's hard not to think, am I falling behind? Why does my life feel stuck? Today's world makes us believe that happiness is always in the next step, the next purchase, the next compliment, the next success. It's like we're stuck in a never-ending race, feeling like we always need to be showing progress to prove everything's fine. At work, they say you should be more and more productive. With friends, there's always someone talking about their new promotion, the fancier car, the upcoming trip. Everything revolves around showing all the time how you're winning at life. The problem is that when we place happiness in external things, it's never enough. There's always something new to chase. Today's world is full of distractions to avoid that emptiness. But in the end, all of that just hides the discomfort, and it comes back, sometimes even stronger. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. No matter how much you try, it will never fill up. And that's when we stop and start to ask ourselves, what truly makes me happy? What gives my life meaning? The good news is that you can get out of this trap. It's not about abandoning your dreams or living without ambition, but about changing what you value. If happiness isn't in the things we achieve, where is it? The answer is simpler than it seems, but it can change everything. Happiness doesn't come from what you have, but from who you're becoming. It's about finding a greater purpose, something beyond buying things or receiving compliments. It's about turning the desire for more stuff, more success, into a desire to be more authentic, more courageous, more connected to what truly matters. Think of a time when you felt truly alive. Maybe when you helped someone expecting nothing in return, when you faced a fear, or when you learned something that changed the way you saw the world. These moments have one thing in common. They don't depend on external things. They come from within, from the feeling that you're growing, that you're on the right path. Real strength doesn't come from dominating others, but from growing and strengthening yourself, from facing challenges, evolving, and creating your own story. Life becomes richer when you choose what truly matters to you and pursue it, instead of just seeking comfort in what's superficial. How do you do this in your daily life? Start with something small but significant. Write it on paper. Who do I want to be? It's not about what you want to have, but about what kind of person you want to become. Maybe more patient, more creative, more present. Studies show that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them because it makes those ideas feel more real, like a map to follow. Take it one step at a time. If you want to be more courageous, start with something that pushes you a bit. Maybe facing your fear of public speaking, speaking up in a meeting, asking for help, or even picking up a hobby you've always wanted to try. Every step, no matter how small, gets you closer to the person you want to become. And the best part? It creates a cycle of real growth. Instead of chasing things that only bring short bursts of satisfaction, you start feeling more fulfilled and more empowered. It's like building a house. Every brick might seem small, but over time, you build something solid and deeply meaningful, reflecting your effort and growth. What matters is focusing on the journey, not the destination. It's not about reaching a place where everything is perfect, but about enjoying the small victories and the moments when you realize you're changing. Now we've come to the main point. Life's pendulum isn't something to fear or avoid. It's part of who we are, wanting something, achieving it, feeling bored, facing challenges, pushing yourself. These highs and lows are the rhythm of our lives. What if, instead of trying to stop or control this movement, you learn to enjoy it? What if the moments of emptiness or difficulty were actually opportunities to grow, chances to reinvent yourself? Think of life as being in the middle of the ocean. Some days, everything is calm, the sun is shining, the boat is steady, and you feel in control. But other days, the weather changes suddenly, the waves grow, and it feels like they're going to knock you down. In those moments, you just wish everything would stay calm. But the truth is, it's precisely this movement of the ocean, the ebb and flow of the waves, the changes, the unexpected turns, that teaches you how to truly navigate. These are the moments that show where the boat is weak, and where you need to adjust the sails. We think happiness is about getting to a perfect place where everything is calm all the time, but it's not. It's about learning to row, even when the sea doesn't help. It's about knowing who you are, even when everything around you changes. Because in the end, the sea isn't against you, it's just teaching you how to sail. How do you put this into practice? First, accept that emptiness is part of life. When you feel that restlessness, instead of trying to distract yourself or escape from it, stop and breathe. Ask, what is this trying to tell me? It could be a sign that it's time to realize you're looking for happiness in the wrong place. Or maybe it's time to challenge yourself in a new way. If you feel bored after reaching a goal, instead of getting lost in that, use it as a sign that it's time to explore a new direction, maybe a new project, a skill you've been putting off, or even engaging in something that makes a difference in other people's lives. Another idea is to practice gratitude, but in a simple way. It's not about forcing positive thoughts, but about noticing the good things that are already in your life. Try this. At the end of the day, write down 3 things that made you smile, no matter how small. Over time, this helps your brain value the present instead of always chasing after tomorrow. Life is movement, and every desire, achievement, and even moments of boredom are opportunities to learn something new about yourself. Happiness isn't in avoiding challenges, but in facing and growing with them. So, the next time life feels unstable, see it as a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more yourself. Life's pendulum, this mix of wanting, achieving, frustrating, and overcoming, doesn't stop, and it shouldn't, because it's this ebb and flow that keeps us curious, moving, and alive. Happiness isn't in a perfect place where everything fits. It happens on the path, in the small choices, in how you deal with what you feel. It's about turning the desire for more into a desire to be, and finding meaning even when everything seems messy. And what if that emptiness that comes up every now and then isn't a problem, but a signal? A sign that it's time to listen to yourself more, rethink your priorities, take a genuine step toward becoming the person you were born to be. Because maybe you're not empty. What weighs on you might be untapped potential, the absence of purpose, of movement. You might be overflowing with possibilities that haven't been lived yet, and your soul feels it. It feels when you know you were made for more. It feels when your mind screams for direction, but the world distracts you with noise. The good news is, there's still time. Every step, no matter how small, can reconnect you with your truth. Life isn't about running from the struggle. It's about rolling up your sleeves and meeting it head on. If you like this video, leave a like because it really matters to me. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you more content like this. Share it with someone who also needs to see life in a different way. Also, check out the other videos on the channel because you'll love them. I always make them with a lot of care. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. I really want to know what you thought. And remember, you're not at the mercy of the sea. You're the one holding the wheel. The waves might come, the wind might change, but it's you who chooses the direction. See you in the next video.